Tuesday. I am Kat, owner of KatsCreationsNMore and Kats Creations Wreaths, and today and this week we're going to be working with different Dollar Tree wreath frames to turn out some incredible Christmas decor that you can add to your home or possibly give away as a gift. So before we get started, let me give you a couple housekeeping things. So if you want to save this tutorial and you're on Facebook, all you have to do is click the share button down below. It basically copy pastes this video from my page and puts it on your Facebook page. So much easier to find. If you were on YouTube, you were catching this from an earlier Facebook Live tutorial. So if you're signed into your account, the only thing that you need to do is simply click save, and you've got a copy of this video on your account where you have this handy. If you want to get notified when I go live, super simple. If you're on YouTube, just hit the subscribe bell or subscribe to my channel. And whenever I have a new video uploaded or we're doing a live, you'll be notified if you happen to be on your device, because it's always handy, right? We can't get notified if we don't have our device handy. If you are on Facebook, you just want to make sure you're doing two things: that you are following the page and you have liked this page. Liked is easy enough to find. The follow button, which is the key, is hidden under those three little dots. Click on those, opens up a sub menu, and you will be all set. And whenever I go live, you should receive a live notification on your device letting you know that I am going live. Trying to think if there's anything else. Let me make sure that I can view your comments. Today's design is featured by a video that I was editing from 2018, where a member had asked me, could you show us how to make this wreath? Which is a peppermint wrapped piece of candy, in other words. And there's a multitude of different ways to do it. I watched a couple tutorials and I was like looking for something out of the ordinary, featuring things that we might have access to, but we never really thought to use it in that manner. So today we are going to be doing just that. Let me go ahead and put my website in here for you guys. So much is coming up this week. This is our last week of October. Hard to believe that we're entering into November so soon. Let me go ahead and pin this. So the rewards group is doing their drawing on Thursday, which is Halloween. So if you've ever contemplated winning a wreath or anything, a wreath bundle, a sign bundle, not a wreath bundle, a sign bundle or a ribbon bundle, you'll want to take advantage of the rewards group. It's for $5 a month. It puts you as a member in a running for a multitude of things that change every single month. So this month it is a Santa Claus snow globe wreath, which is not available for sale anywhere on any of my pages. It is an exclusive design that I created that is going to one member. And then we're doing a seasonal sign bundle, so that'll feature some winter and Christmas signs. And then I think I'm going to do a different bundle. I'm going through some embellishments, so I'm trying to put together a seasonal box for that as well. So you can do that by clicking on the website below. Okay. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Pam. Hi, Jan. Welcome. I think we're on the right page. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. I'll cover the materials. We'll put it together. I've never done one, so we'll see how it all turns out. So bear with me 1 second as I pivot you down. I want to make sure, because sometimes when I do designs, they have a tendency of going off the mat just slightly. So I think we're centered. So things you will need: a football Dollar Tree wreath frame. And a lot of us can still find these in our Dollar Tree. They may not be in the seasonal section. Go back to their crafting section. And sometimes you'll see these just sitting on a wall that you can pick up. So we're going to use that while you're at the Dollar Tree. Also pick up this super soft microfiber white cloth. You'll find that in the automotive section at the Dollar Tree because we're going to be using that to cover our frame. In addition, you're going to need one roll. You won't use the whole roll, but one roll of wide foil, white iridescent mesh for me. And I'm using one roll of red wide foil metallic deco mesh. These are cut to 40-inch pieces. I don't know that I'll need all of them, but I cut them anyway. I did 4 of each, so 4 at 40 each. We'll see how that works. Ribbons, for sure, I'm doing a peppermint candy cane striped ribbon. This is from 5th Street Studios. Also pairing that with a peppermint candy 1.5-inch ribbon, which is from Craft Outlet. If for some reason I can't get enough to make 2 bows from this, I will probably throw in this candy cane and holly ribbon. Also from 5th Street Studios. And then you guys have seen these before. These are at Hobby Lobby. These are their peppermint picks. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use these or I am going to use the larger peppermint candy picks for the Wreath design. So we're going to put it together. It's my first time. I made a promise. Like I said, I was editing the video from 2018. I was like, oh my, I never ever did that tutorial. So we're doing it today. So the first thing we are going to do, and it doesn't matter which side you do this on. One side has more of a furry and the other is more of a, I don't know, like a felt type. We are going to be covering the entire frame so that we have a good solid base. This just helps prevent, you know, like being able to see through. It creates a more uniformed look. There's some people who say, well, can't you just wrap it? Yeah, you can wrap it, but we want to be able to hang it, and we want it to actually feel like a good quality item. So I got this idea from Michelle Smith Creations. No relation, even though I have the same last name as her. So we're going to go ahead and start, first of all, by, at the very end, I'm going around the 2 middle, and I'm going to add a pipe cleaner down here, and I want to measure them, keep them pretty even, just so that we have the same amount. And I'm kind of going through the middle 3, just for me. And again, making sure that I have those pretty uniform, because we're going to need these on the other side. So if we put them in now, we can go ahead and wrap the design and we don't have any issue. Also, on hers, she added a hanger on the outside. So I am going to just simply do one here. I'm trying to think how I want mine hung. I think I want it on this side. So we're just going to do that to make sure that we are good to go for hanging options. So I'm just going to kind of create a little loop like this. And I'm doing one. I'm just wrapping them. This is probably way too big, but better to have a lot than a little. So I'm just wrapping that through, wrapping these around. Go. There's that one. I'm going to wrap it one more time and then just pull it through like so. Okay, there we go. Anytime you want to click in. All right, flipping this over, we are going to hot glue this to the end. So, and you want a slight overlap, not a huge one, just a little bit. Like I would say no more than 1 inch. So we're going to take our old trusty glue gun and we're going to go from here. I guess I should have pulled out my binder clips because it just makes it easy for the process to keep on moving forward to kind of wrap. And we're going to go around our hanger here. Okay. Let me grab my binder clips. You can use clothespins. You can use whatever you would like. It just helps. I'm going to use these little pink ones, and I'm just going to put those on in place so that I can kind of stretch. I know I have enough over here, enough over here. I'm going to just stretch the entire thing over. I was gonna cut because we don't need that much, which is great because this will save this next piece for our project for Friday. Let's get scissors designed to cut fabric. Okay. Nice piece straight. Save this. More likely we'll be using that on the weekend. And I probably cut way too much. You don't need it to be stretched like we were doing it for the pumpkins. I am going to just cut more of this off. So I kind of want to get it started. Okay, there's that. Doesn't have to be neat, but I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue here right along the rim. Flip this over. Grab another clip. That'll kind of hold that in place. Right alongside the end there. Flip that in. Another clip. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and roll these up. Obviously, we'll be cutting more. So I'm just going to kind of cut this down because we really don't need that much. So I'm going to go around here. And you can come back in and trim all this up and get it closer to the frame once we get everything all hot glued on. I'm trying to keep this to where you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of tucking, pushing that all the way up. I'm stuck with my clip being in the way. Like I said, it does not need to be perfect. We are just covering the frame. So for here, we are just going to pull this forward and just tuck them down so that we have a good snug fit. So right here at the end, right here, pull those ends up and just kind of tuck them forward. Put a clip there and a clip there. Okay, do the same over here. I'm going to do this side because I have a hanger on one end. So right along here, up almost to the top. Okay, I'm going to flip it to the other side. And as you can see, I'm pulling this so that it does fit somewhat snug, but not like overly tight. Okay, let's cut that over. And we want to make sure we have a spot for our hanger. That's going to be nice. It'll fit right inside there. Okay, we're going to tuck that one inside. Give it a pull. Tuck that in. Just move our little binder chip clip over. And then I'm going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to pull it nice and tight. And then let's cut the corners off of this. Just makes for an easier fit. And of course my scissors just rolled to the floor. Pull it up and tuck it over. Just like so. Put that one there. And we're good. So obviously, white microfiber is going to pick up every little thing on your, whatchamacallit, your cutting mat, your kitchen table, whatever. You're just going to have all that stuff to contend with. So I'm just going to trim this a little tighter to my frame. And just do a nice little overlap right here. Right there. Put my nice little chip clip there. I'm going to go ahead and trim this excess off, because we just don't need all that. It looks nicer if you can trim up the edges a bit. If you need to glue them down more flat to the other, you're fine with that. Like I said, no one is going to see this. They'll see the back side, but as far as all this stuff, nah, only you see it. So I'm just going to try to make it look as nice as possible. Okay, nice and pretty. Let's get these ones. Okay, we are all set. I'm gonna pull all my clips off, and now we are ready to cover the front, which is this part here, believe it or not. Okay, so this is where we have cut our deco mesh pieces, 4 of them to 40-inch lengths. And I'm going to start with the red. You can pick. I'm going to actually, what I'm creating is a striped wrapper. You can buy deco mesh that already has the stripes in it to minimize the amount of work that you have to do. Obviously, I don't know why I like to complicate my life the way I do, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to measure out 6 inches here, which ends right here, and I'm going to fold this over on the 6-inch line. Okay, so I've got 6 inches. You want to go 6 inches in. Why? Because this is where our wrapper piece goes. I'm just going to push that out that way so it can stop trying to roll up on me. Okay, so make sure you've got a good 6 inches. Once you've got your 6 inches done, just like that, nice and firm, I am going to take and I'm going to ruffle in here, right at the side, and here's the first of our candy wrappers. Okay, this is going to go right in here. So I am going to slide this piece, and this is why you need that 6-inch overlap, because this is going to hold your candy wrapper. Okay, one twist. Now with the other, you want to fold your edges in, so I don't want to see the outside edges. We're creating the first of the wraps, and this one's going to go right alongside. So see how this likes to want to come out? I really want to tuck that in like this. And so this is going to be the first wrap going alongside the edge of my candy. And I am going to attempt to chip clip this here so that I can fold up my 6 inches on this side. So I have yet to figure out what is the easiest way of doing this. so that we can get that in. Okay, so we're trying to take the ends, we're trying to bring those up right in here so that we can gather all those loose ends. Let's hope I meet it. Going around the outside edge. Okay, let me make sure I'm pulling these in so that by the time I bring this up and around, I have secured my other piece. Okay, and this is where having those extra pieces, and couple things to note, you can have this fit tight, you can have this fit loose. It's whatever your preference is going to be. I kind of like mine to stay like tight to the form, but not like overly tight. So there is my first piece of my candy created. Okay. Hi Tanika, hi Beck, hi Beverly or Peggy, hi Anna, welcome. So now we're going to take our white. Let's see if we can do that with the white and just do our 6 and 6. So let's do, here's where it needs to come. Okay, so I'm going to try to put a chip clip here. And I'm going to try to do the same on the opposite side. The process is evolving while we're here. Okay, and we want to go 6 in, which is here. Okay, let's see if we can get this one to work. Let's see if it'll go this way. Okay, so I've got it gathered where, there, in here. Let's see, let's put another one down here. Okay, so this one I know I can get to right away because I'm just going to gather this piece, gonna flip it over, is gonna go right inside my candy form, and I'm just gonna keep stacking them. Oop. I don't even know if at some point our pipe cleaner will be long enough. I'm hopeful. Okay, I'm gonna make sure this is going to the back. I want to make sure we've got our fold going in. This is going to kind of be a little challenging because I have my clips on there. But I want to make sure I get this all the way down. And I'm just making sure that I have the edges of my Deco mesh in my hand so that I can scrunch my candy wrapper in place. Let go of my sweater. Okay, and these are going right in here. Okay. These will eventually stack up sideways. They're just laying flat because that's how they're going in for now. And you can move them down. So you can decide, like, do you want a slight overlap? Do you like the way that's stacking up? This will all get twisted. So now we're going to come in with red. So we're going in at our 6-inch mark. Making sure I have 6 inches in. It doesn't have to be this perfect. It could be like 5.5 in. I'm just trying to take these and go, okay, I'm on the 30 line. Let's bring that over here so that I have a true 6 inches on each end, because that'll be enough to still allow for your candy wrapper to show. And what did I do with my other one? Here it is. it'll be enough to hold that end in for our wrapper. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here, gathering. Okay, this, remember we're flipping it over so we can put it in to our candy holder, our wrapper holder I should say. And I'm thinking we're going to have to go a little bigger on that candy wrapper holder, because I'm like, I barely have enough on one side. And that's probably just me, because I wrap probably the same way all the time. So it will be shorter. I'm going to pull that in to my hand. Pull this in to my hand. Make sure that we can get that in here for our candy wrapper. Okay, so there's the second one. See why having that extra piece in place is necessary? Because I think even though we're folding it over, that's what I did, Beck. I'm folding and gathering the ends first. So, and like I said, these will end up getting twisted so that they'll look more like this. I just have them laying flat. So let me grab another pipe cleaner, just so I can have those handy, should I need one. Because, I mean, I have enough here for the next one. So, let's see. Okay. Folding over our 6. Okay. I'm just putting my chip clip there, just so I can get that held. Back over here, we're going to go in our 6 inches. Okay, there's that one. So we're going to start here. I'm going to go a little bit, just like so. Right over here. Oops. Okay, I have just enough to finish that one. And then, of course, I have Deco mesh sticking to Deco mesh. Okay. And so I'm going to gather here. Oop, trying to get that undone. See, if I do it like this, it doesn't give me enough. I have to keep it fairly tight till I get my fold in here. So, folding, making sure we've got nice thin strips. Kind of want it halfway at that point, just like that. Okay, and then from here, making sure it needs to come down. From here, I will take these, put them in my hand, because that's where it's going to go in. Right down into our pipe cleaner, which is almost like just barely there. Whoop. Again, you can kind of see where our candy's winding up. So don't worry about this area here, because we're gonna hide the mechanics of that. So just make sure you're happy with the way everything else looks. Kind of want it to just be like slightly overlapping each previous section just a bit. Okay, so there is that. Now we're going to come in with our red. I'm going to add another pipe cleaner just to this section here. And you can see how once I tie that tight, how much more of a pipe cleaner I get. Okay. I think we should be able to get the rest in. So I'm trying to hide it so you don't see the white underneath. So keep squishing. Okay, got red. Red over our 6. This just helps me plan for where's everything need to go. Okay, from here over 6. Okay, here's our other one. Okay, I'm going to bring this over just a smidge more. And then I'm going to gather right here. This is for my candy. I need to pull it because we're going, I'm always doing it from this side at the top. Okay. We're folding our ends under. So it just looks nice and finished. It's kind of like how when we wrap the top of the Santa hat, we don't want to see the edge. We don't want to see any of those edges. They're unfinished. Well, I guess they're finished to some degree, but I don't want to see them. So just like this, pull this one up just a little bit. Okay, bringing that down to where I need it to be. We'll unclip. We'll make sure I've got our edges all contained inside and lay that right down inside. It's getting thick. Okay. Let's remove that. All right. We're getting there. Got 3 more pieces to go. And I'm sure as this process evolves, I will still come up with a different way to do it next time. You know? This is just snagging on the fibers of my sweater. Stop snagging. Okay, there's our 6. Pulling that over. This just helps me with spacing by setting aside the first 6, the last 6, there's that, there's that. Okay, this one I want to bring down just a little bit. Okay. Kind of like how we're doing the poof method, but differently. Okay, so I'm bringing this up. Squeeze that in. Okay, there's that. I put this in upside down. So I'm going to reverse that really quick. Thought I had it the right way, but I didn't. There we go. Now it's the right way. Right. Now it still feels like the wrong way. Okay. Take, fold. I'm going to flip these. Just going to go ahead and pull these back. So it's running right alongside. And I think, I'm like looking, it might only require one more additional piece. I'm going to pull my sleeve up. Okay. On the back side. Hand off the edge of your mesh so that we can drop that right into that pipe cleaner. We'll see. Okay. Nice and tight. Nice and form-fitting. So I'm thinking maybe just one more piece, but I've run out of pipe cleaner. So if I need just one more piece, I'll bring this way over here, because that's where it's going to come. Just so I can squeeze all this in. Okay, yeah, one more piece. I think anything more than that, you're going to just find yourself wanting to put in more and more pipe cleaners to hold everything together. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I'm like, it's not quite 6. Okay, this one in. Go back. Okay, right there. Should be enough. It looks super cute. Kind of looks like the things I'm going to be adding to it for my embellishment part. Okay, from here, because we're doing the sides, it's going to be a touch shorter. Here's my, I'm flipping it over. We're starting up here on the top. I go right inside here. Twist, twist, twist. Okay. I'm just going to undo these because I want this last row to be fairly thin. So I want to make sure those are going in. Kind of like how we're doing the Santa thing. We want to make sure that stays right on that outside edge. Nice and tight. This is where I'm going to tuck. Okay. There we go. Last piece. Let's make sure this covers, I want to make sure this comes down and covers the end that we have designed it to do. So this one kind of goes around the outside to cover that last piece. We're going to flip all of our candy wrappers to the side and kind of fluff them up. So now they look like a candy wrapper. So we're just unstacking them from top to bottom and going side to side. Just like that. Okay. So just like so. Nice, super full candy. Okay, now we need to hide mechanics, right? We made sure that our Deco mesh edge went all the way around, so it's completely hiding that little furry base. Darlene, it's a Dollar Tree football. So now we're going to build the bow, and then we're going to embellish it. So let me go ahead and grab that. So I'm just using my bow dabber to hold it. So let's see. I don't want them any longer than this for my tail length, which is 7 inches. So I'm going to start with a dovetail end, which is bring your folded edges together, and we're cutting from the folded side down to the wire point, and I like a pretty prominent V. So we're going to go 7 inches in, and we're going to twist, and I'm just using my bow dabber to hold, and I'm going to do a 5-inch loop. So right there's 5. I'm going to do another 5. And I'm going to bring that way in. I was like almost at 6 right there. Okay, here's 5. Okay, now I'm going to do a 4.5. So I'm just bringing it to the 10-inch line and then pulling it outwards and making sure that my loops end at 4.5 inches. So back on the 10, stretch it out. I'm good there. I'm going to line this up so we have a 7-inch tail, just like so. Okay, there's the first ribbon in. And let's see, do we have enough? This is where I'm not sure, because I need to make sure it'll go into 2 bows. Let's see, 6.5. I'm doing the measurements in my head. 9. And then another 9. I don't think I'm going to have enough of this one to do 2 sets of loops. So let's do the peppermint candy cane, because I know I have enough of this one. So we're going to do 6.5 inch for the tail. I'm going to put that inside. And then I'm going to do a 4.5 inch loop, which is the exact same size as the one we had down before. So I'm just going to put my fingers in both and give it the top one a tug. This one's going to be another 4.5 inches. And then we're going to go 4 inches for the next. So right there's 4. And then we've got 4. And then we've got 6.5. Because you need to make 2. Could you cut the stem off the pumpkin? You know what, Darlene? You can just do a regular 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame too. And just do the whole thing. It'd just be a whiter candy. It'd be more round, less oval. And so I'm going to grab my pipe cleaner. And I might need 2. So I'm just going to double up on these, just so I know that I have more than enough, because we've got a lot to go around. So I'm going to pick up the first one, I go ahead and place this right over the top. This way I know I have more. Because I thought about doing that too, just with the Dollar Tree wreath frame. Okay, now I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm going to wrap this whole thing right around my candy. Nice and tight. Like as tight as I can get that tight. Because it just holds everything together. And then I'm just going to fluff. So I'm going to bring the tails down. How in the heck? That one went under. It got included in the mix. So tails down. And then we're just going to fluff large to small. Okay, large to small. Pull these out. I'm going to go higher with these. Higher with that. Again, our candy needs to be on its end. And then we'll put the curl back in those. And just kind of put them in between, however you like your bow to lay. I'm doing the longer peppermints at the bottom, the longer tails. And then just drag those all the way out. Okay, there's that, and that is the first of our peppermint candy. And then we're going to do the same on the bottom, down here. But we're going to do a little bit smaller because we really want it to, like, I think we added our hanger. We added our hanger over here. So I want this to feature more predominantly, like this is the top part of the bow and this will be the lower half of the bow. So we'll make it, we'll see how it looks. If we need to trim up the tails or make it smaller, we can definitely do that. So there's that. We're going to go ahead and trim off our tails because we don't want to lose sight of the fact that we just built that. So 7 inches was our agreed upon for the wreath. And then we're doing, I'm going to bring these ones down just a little bit more. It's going to be 5. Let's try it this way. If I have to pull the bow apart and redo it, uh-oh, can't run out of ribbon. Hold on a sec, let me go grab more ribbon. I hope. Let me see. We might need to change up our ribbon. Ooh, I have all the 2.5. I do not see. We might have to change that. I really didn't want to. I have another one, but it's not the same. It is slightly different. And I know what's going to end up happening when I leave. It'll be exactly what I need. So I might have to take that one off and redo it to get it to match. Otherwise it's slightly off. I have everything in 2.5. but it's not 1.5 inches. And sometimes I do that. I will shop for everything, not realizing you don't have any 1.5 inches. Silly. So I'm going to take that one apart. So let me just build the bottom part of it. So we're doing 7-inch. And we're going to go over. And we're doing 5. I can do this pretty quick. Now that we know what the formula is, we're going to do 5. And then we're doing 4.5. And then I'll just pull the candy cane off and just swap up the bottoms. Easy peasy. And this is the reality of what you find. And even though I looked at my ribbon roll, I'm like, well, for sure, no, I have more than enough to do that. No. Okay. So I'm going to pull the other one off. And we're just going to take the top half of the bow out. This is why you never make anything permanent while you're building it on live. Okay, one more. One more twist, girl. There we go. Pull this off. Looks so pretty too. Okay. But we can save that ribbon because it's enough to put on the top of another wreath later. So I'm just deconstructing it, pulling the top off or pulling the bottom off, and then here's the top. Throw that right on top. Pull the whole thing out. And then we'll just redo it, reattach it, and make the other. Just like so. I really like the candy cane ribbon. And I'm like, I know I have some rolls of it in like Costco or Sam's Club ribbon. Like, where did I put that? Not where I can find it right now. And I'm just fluffing it, doing a hand fluff right here. Just so that when I lay that in, it's pretty much done. Okay. Apologies. Making sure I've got that all the way wrapped around. Okay. There's that. And that's why doing that hand fluff worked out well, because then we're already a step ahead. There's that. See how quickly that went back in. And we'll do this one. And we should be good to go. Okay. So this one, we said we're doing, we said 7, right? I have a feeling. Well, it kind of was, Blanche. I mean, it wasn't an error. It's just like, hey, I wasn't, like, because I've never built it, and I didn't know what any of the dimensions were, or what type of bow that I was going to put on it. I just, like, pulled everything over, and I was like, I like all these. What's going to happen? I wasn't thinking. Had I just done a singular loop, I would have had enough for both. So same thing, building the same exact bow. 5 inches for the loop on the bottom, 4.5 inches for the loop on the top, both with a 7-inch tail. Would you, Blanche? She says, I have some. Let me go and grab that for you. Ugh. I do too. Like I said, I know it's somewhere. I haven't pulled out all the holiday stuff because I was like, no, I don't need it. There's enough on there. No, there's not. Okay. So this one is 6.5 inches. Okay, and we're doing 4.5. I'm going to pull those down so that'll just make it so much easier when we get ready to fluff. And we're doing 4.5 on the other side. Remember, finger cheat. And then we're doing 3.5. Oop, bring that way down, girl. 3.5, 3.5, and then 6.5 for my tail. Okay. Now we can put all that together. There we go. All right. We will need another 2 red pipe cleaners. Here's one. Just by putting them together, just so it goes around that beast. So, oops. I didn't do my loop. I didn't do the U ahead of time. I just like, burp, didn't think. Okay. Alrighty. So hand fluff. Just pull all your tails down. There's only 4. And then I'm holding this. So I'm going big loop, little loop, big loop, little loop, switch hands, big loop, little loop, whoop, big loop, little, fluff, 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 fluff. Should fit on there. Just perfect. Okay, want to make sure I'm grabbing the full thing. Man, that is, I mean, it is a lot of Deco mesh that we have confined in that limited space. Okay, and I'm just kind of making this one hug the corner a little bit because it's the lower half of the bow, so it doesn't need to have a reprising thing. And we can do the same thing here, just kind of make it nice and fluffy there. Okay, and from here, like I said, depending upon how much space you have and what you want to put in there, let me make sure I'm pulling my Deco mesh fluffers, my my candy wrapper out, just like so, so that we have a good full wrapper. And this way I can also give you dimensions too. You have your option for what you can put in the center of that. You could put a peppermint. So in a sense, what we, in a roundabout weird way, created is a candy that looks something like this, but it would have wrappers on both sides. So you can add a peppermint to the inside. I kind of like using the longer ones because they're a bit bigger. Some of them have like the little peppermint candy in the inside, or Hobby Lobby makes a bigger pick like these that features a bigger peppermint, and I kind of like these ones. So I'm going to clip this one off. So I like that one. And I'm going to use those in the center of my bow. So just snip those off. We still have picks for others. Just like that. And then we're going to tuck these right inside our little peppermint wrapped Christmas candy. And then you can use this in lieu of a wreath on the door. You can use this as a gift. You could, I'm trying to decide which way I want to put those in. Kind of like it like that, a little bit more flat. So I'm going to focus, adding my glue to the flat side so it looks more flat, not raised. I'm afraid that's going to pop up. Same thing here. One side's got a weird look to it. And we're going to do this one here. And I'm going to hold both of those till they set up. But that is how you can make a wrapped peppermint candy wreath. And if you feel like your tails are too long, cut them down. Like I feel like this one's a little too long. So if it is, take it, give it a trim. There we go. And then we can do the same on these. Maybe 7 was a little long. There's that one. Let's make them a little tighter so you can see more of the candy. Just like that. Look how cute that is. Okay. Want to see what it looks like on the door? I think those are going to stay. I hope they're going to stay. Let me give you the dimensions. Finished dimensions. Deco mesh end to deco mesh end, 24 inches. Deco mesh width to deco mesh width, about 13 inches. And on the height side of it, we are looking at about 5.5. So 13 by 24 by 5.5. So it's a pretty big piece. There's a lot of people out there making a much smaller for a much smaller price point. It's going to be entirely up to you what you like, what your preference is, how you want to design that. You can do whatever color peppermint candy you'd like. Let me flip you up so you can see this on the door. We're hoping it's going to work on the door. That's always a scary thing when you're doing a live, right? The hard facts. What if it doesn't fit? It'll fit. If not, we'll figure it out together. How to do that. How to put it on the door. But we put our hanger on there. We put our hanger on there. Our hanger's on here. So here's our hanger. And look how cute that is. It's just a nice little cute peppermint wrapped Christmas candy. So it's entirely up to you. That's just one way. So you could do a much bigger candy. Keep in mind when you do that though, you're going to increase the size of everything, which means the length of your wrapped candy is going to be longer. I only came up one piece extra because I wanted it to be very precise on the points. I'm like trying to think, could I have pushed it and squeezed another one in there? Maybe, but I would have had to make the size of my stripes much thinner, and then I probably could have got all 8 in there. But you have a ton of options. This is just one. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Come back on Friday. What are we doing? Well, if you have the Dollar Tree large candy cane wreath, this might be the last year that they put it out. We're going to make another wreath using that deco mesh, some faux fur, and some other stuff. So you guys won't want to miss that. Join me Friday though, Friday at 5 Pacific, which is 7 Central, 8 Eastern, this Friday. That'll be November 1st for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's going to go to automatic replay. If you're interested in purchasing it, it's available on my website. It just doesn't have a photo yet. But that's all I have for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.